Yo, we are back. You're listening to the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
Hey, what's up? I'm DJ Keo.
I want to talk about, I think, which could be the number 3 DJ software on the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably think I'm talking about virtual DJ. But I'm not. I'm talking about Algorithm's DJ Pro AI app. Now, I've been using, I've had this app. Personally, I've had the iPad version of it for almost 7 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's been out for about 8 years.
Okay.
And I remember
it's been out for a minute.
Yeah. It's been out, right, for a really long time. I remember, they just reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to review it, way back in the day, And I was like, sure, and they sent it to me. And, I had one of my writers, from Australia, install it on their app, on their iPad. But then I was like, this looks pretty cool. So I installed it and it was pretty cool. So I've had the iPad version for about 7 years. But I started using the desktop version. Which version do you have? The desktop version?
Yeah, the desktop version.
So tell me something, right? What do you think about this app? Algorithm DJ Pro AI app.
It reminds me of, I say a newer version of Virtual DJ, like a fresher version. And I think the version that I have is more designed for touch. I'm using the Windows version because you had the Mac version, you had the iPad version.
Yeah.
So I figured we should round it out. So I got the Windows version, and my laptop's I have a touchscreen laptop, and it's definitely designed for touch. All the buttons are large, they're easy to reach with your fingers. Like, it's designed for that. So I think that they're focusing on this market here, but they tried to make a robust DJ software that it covers all the bases as a pro thing would.
Right.
I have a friend who uses it professionally. Actually, I know two DJs that DJ professionally with it, and they love it. I haven't seen crashes or anything like that with it, and I've gone to gigs with them, and it's fine. Like, I think we're at the point now where any DJ software can blend two songs together. Right. And it's the look and the little extra features that it has that separates it from everybody else.
Again, I've been using like the iPad version, and I, went out and got like the Newmark Mix Track Platinum effects, which is a really cool controller. And I've been using the iPad version with that controller. And, any controller, you can plug in like a lot of controllers to Algorithm's DJ, and it just automatically maps it, right?
I think it's the 50 controllers that it supports right out the box.
Right.
Yeah.
So like my Pioneer XDJ XZ is not supported, but when I plugged it up to the desktop version, it gave you the ability to start mapping it out. I'm not into that, right?
I don't go map.
And so when I plugged up the Mix Track Platinum FX, it worked. And, it's still not a tight integration, like for example, I was like, well, maybe I thought it was the controller. So I said, well, let me try it with Serato. And that integration is 100, dude. I'm telling you, it is so tight.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, it's still cool. The integration with the iPad app is really tight too. But listen, man, I had some serious fun using that app. I was like, this app is, like you said, it's the clean, easy, simple version with all the bells and whistles of virtual DJ.
They got the design language from Apple for sure.
They got the design language from Apple, and I was like, okay. And then again, I started using it. I connected that. I connected my title to it, and I was like, you know what? Because I've been thinking about like I have a video that I'm doing later on tonight, and it's about DJs getting ready for post-pandemic, right? Because I don't think a lot of DJs are thinking about that. You spoke about that a little bit. You also flamed the mess out of Spotify, yo. Like on one of your, I said, damn, Keo is going off on like Spotify. I was like, damn. I was like, okay, but still, it makes sense. It's like we have to really prepare ourselves for post-pandemic. So I was like, okay, and how I DJ is I DJ in a lot of lounges. I DJ in a lot of bars. I DJ in a lot of hotel lounges. So a lot of times I have to bring a piece of equipment, like be it a controller, even though I'm just plugging it into their speaker system, right?
Yeah.
And so I have to bring a controller. And before it was the SZ, the Pioneer DDJ SZ. And I was like, well, I don't really need a controller this big, right? And then also the laptop and, which now I have the XDJ XZ. And I'm like, okay, I could, use this as a standalone, just bring like a thumb drive. But I started, I started using the Algorithm DJ app, just the iPad version with the Mixtrack Platinum FX. That is the perfect solution for what I want to do. I just throw it in a bag, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, this is the perfect solution. And again, this app is this DJ app, this DJ software, man, I am really impressed with this software. I'm not even going to front. I mean, I've been using it for like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Exclusively. I haven't even opened up Rekordbox or Serato.
Well, I think it gets the benefit because they created it recently, whereas Serato and Tractor and even Virtual DJ and Rekordbox, they're kind of legacy programs where they've been around for a while. And so, they got the bad code in there and they just expanded the bad code to the next version and the next version. And so I think that one of these new type programs, they're leaner and they run smoother because it's a tiny package and they can avoid all the crap that these other programs have. Yeah. Now, does your version, does it use DVS or it doesn't have DVS in it? I was looking for some kind of DVS and I didn't see it. I wasn't
able to see any of the DVS. It has, again, it's feature, it's full featured, but I wasn't, really. Again, we spoke about this before too. I mean, a DVS is fine, but I'm like, if I have vinyl, I'm using vinyl, like I'm just playing records, I mean, I don't really use DVS anyway, because if I do, it's only going to be in my, in my studio. I'm not going to use it out or anything like that. So I wasn't really, I know you can use DVS with it, but I wasn't able to see that feature. Maybe I'm doing something totally different, or maybe I just need to turn my turntables on, huh? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think it'd have worked through the controller, but it doesn't support a lot of mixers. I don't think it supports any major mixers outside the Pioneer one, because it's connecting it through the CDJs. So the CDJs are kind of like in the HID mode. Yeah. So they're controlling it that way. Okay. So I think that's the only mixer that I saw that was supported. Maybe it'll work with some mixers, but I don't think there's a DVS type thing outside of these types of CDJs, like the 850s and whatever. It needs like a USB port and that kind of thing to connect into it. So it's definitely using some kind of HID mode. So it's interesting. For me, it doesn't connect the way I use it. But so like if I'm using controller, it's perfect. But if I use my mixer and CDJs or a turntable, it doesn't work the way I need it to. Where Virtual DJ does, and Tractor, Serato does, and Rekordbox.
But it does work with CDJs.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Nexus system, it does.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't think it works with Denon. I don't think it works. It's missing a couple. Yeah, I mean, types of CDJs. And,
right, exactly.
But like, see, the thing is though, like, it does what you need. The basics are there. And it's a solid program that's designed for a specific use.
Right.
And so like if you're using it in this area, especially for new DJs or DJs who are professional but don't want to carry a lot of gear, this thing's perfect for them. It's literally designed for it.
With the like I said, it's like I was just thinking, I was like, wow, I have, I could just toss this in a bag. I could use it with the iPad version, the iPad app. But you know, you also have like the neural mix, which is like the AI component, and that works like splendidly, and it's like straight up. It's like just right there. Unlike, you know, with virtual DJs, it's just you have to like play around with it to like figure out like where it was and like, you know, to get it to work.
That's interesting that's not on the PC version.
What's
There's
that?
missing a couple of things, the neural mix thing and the stems. That's not on the PC version.
You mean the oh really? Okay, so no,
Yeah,
it's right
yeah,
on a Mac, it's right there.
yeah.
So you mean you guys don't have like on a PC version, they don't have like the looper packs? They call them looper packs.
Actually, oh yeah, actually that is on there. Yeah.
Yeah. The looper packs are kind of dope too, right?
Yeah. The stems was the thing that wasn't on there. Sorry.
Okay.
I got them mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah, the like I said, the looper packs, the neural mix is pretty cool. Again, very simple. It's not, I will say this though, right? The neural mix, again, this is a very even though it's not a brand new technology, it's still a pretty new technology. So it's not 100% yet. You know, if you're taking out vocals, it's almost like a phasing going on. Like when you pull down something, you know, if you pull the bass down or if you pull like the harmonics down or, you know, the vocals, it's almost like there's some sort of a phasing or some sort of a gate plan, you know. And I mean, it really is a gate, you know, when you really think about it, right? But
yeah.
I wasn't able to just get that real tight. But the interesting thing about that is, even though I felt like it wasn't 100%, but because it wasn't 100%, it made and created some really interesting sounds. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, and then I started mixing stuff on top of that. And I'm like, oh my, it was fun, dude. I had like fun using this, and it was just so easy. And again, I'm thinking like, when I go out to DJ at a bar, a lounge, a hotel, I have that little like, you know, mix track platinum effects in my iPad Pro headphones. It's a wrap.
Yeah, when I used to DJ in the lounge, I used to just have fun because, you know, like they wanted like deep house and that kind of background music. They just didn't want it too loud. People were at a bar drinking, whatever, just make it chill. So like I used to do remixes. Yeah, I had a controller there. I used to do remixes and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff like that's interesting to me. And so like flipping it like that, I think I would use it something like this kind of thing. I'll use that in that situation. And yeah, I don't know, like it's cool. It's a very cool feature to have. And I like that all the DJ software is coming up with stuff like this. Like,
you think Rekordbox or Serato is going to have a feature like that? You know, the neural mix AI. You think that's like coming?
I think it's coming. I think even Traktor's going to get it. After the survey I saw, they're probably going to get it too. But
I mean, is Traktor coming out with something new, or are they upgrading their software?
Well, Traktor put out a survey, I think it was last week or a week before, and they were asking specific questions about what to bring to the platform immediately and what to bring to the platform in the future. And so a lot of Traktors users, they saw the thing, they filled it out, and I think they realized, like, oh, this is a new company, and these guys, they want to get their investment back, so they're going to take this more seriously than Native Instruments was in the past. So that's why I say, like, if Rekordbox and Serato doesn't do it immediately, Traktor might beat them to the game because of the new ownership and the fact that they want to get stuff done. We want to talk about Traktor. We're talking about
but one quick thing about Traktor, you know, like I said, that was the first DJ software I used, and I was just like in love with Traktor. I was like, man, it is cool. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't use it with like any other controller, but I always say, listen, I'm okay with having options, even if it's Traktor, Virtual DJ, Rekordbox, you know, Serato, you know, Algorithm DJ. Like, dude, these are just options that DJs can like pick and choose, and it's just like, this works for me, you know.
Yeah.
Or maybe Serato works like in a big club for me, and then when I'm doing like little loungy stuff, like in hotels or like boutique lounges or something like that, maybe something like an Algorithm on an iPad works for me. So, and like you said, you know,
I agree.
Right. So, you know, so I hope that, you know, this means that, you know, Tractor is going to come out with an update, because I still have the software. I actually still have version 2.
Okay. Oh, you didn't upgrade to 3 yet.
Yeah.
3's better.
Yeah, but you know
absolutely
the
better.
upgrade cost money though, right?
Yeah. It was like $60 or something.
That's when I put it down, because
it.
I was like, I put it down with 2 because 2 was like going crazy. But like you said, back to algorithm. Yeah, I like the software. I think it's really cool. It's super lightweight on a Mac. I mean, it's just like lightweight, right?
It's nice and clean, no extra fluff. The code is nice and clean. They're like, make this run on barely any RAM and barely any CPU.
And it runs,
That's
I think
awesome.
it runs natively too on a Mac.
Yeah. It's for the M1 chips. It's native too. So, DJ software needs to clean house and get rid of the fluff and make a leaner, more clean OS or your whatever your DJ software. It needs to be cleaner. Like it's you look at this stuff. They're huge files. Serato is I think the last one I uploaded was like 700, 800 megabytes.
Wow.
Tractors, same. Record Box is the same. Like they're all huge programs. This tiny thing, it downloaded instantly. Like there's nothing to it, but it has a lot of the same features that the big boys have. So I think that, you know, there's other factors for why the higher end DJ software is a larger footprint, but still, let's be real here. The basics of putting 2 songs together doesn't require a lot of code.
No.
And it's getting bloated, and that's why I like programs like this. And Tractor has a Tractor DJ thing. It's exactly like this, where it's small, it's lean, it's designed for touch and tablets and that kind of stuff. And I think that's supposed to be the future going forward. And you have to be lean. Serato and Record Box needs to make a cleaner, lighter program. These things, they're getting too bloated.
But you know, it's like really, and again, okay, you brought up Tractor, because I have to talk about Tractor really quickly. Their tablet app, the iPad app, the Tractor DJ, right? I thought that was like an awesome app, right?
Yeah.
It worked with a lot of controllers. Dude, it just does not work. When I hit the app, when I hit the icon, it just opens up and then it closes. Opens up and closes. Opens up and closes.
There's a new thing now. It's a Tractor DJ 2 or something. That's the new version. That one's dead. The old one is dead.
Right.
Okay. So, you got to switch over to that one. But it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, no front, man. I mean, that app, you know, I mean, I said I had the DJ app for almost 7 years. The reason why I wasn't using the DJ app that much was because I was using the Tractor app, because I just thought it was a bit slicker, you know?
Yeah.
And it sort of it integrated with controllers real easy.
Yeah.
I was able to just plug up anything and it worked. So, okay, I did see that. I didn't know like if it was like in-app or something like that. It is a free version. I mean, it doesn't have like a crazy like ratings, but I'm going to try it because I'm familiar with the Tractor app. And I do like it. Like I said, I thought it was a tight app. So if that's the case, I'm definitely going to try that out. So, the other thing is, and this is what we said about virtual DJ. I think that if algorithm if some company, if they can partner with some company to make a controller specifically for algorithm, right? Specifically for algorithm, the DJ Pro AI app, specifically, which means because like if you have a controller, a lot of times, depending on the controller, you still have to touch the screen to turn on the neural mix or something like that. You have to touch the screen
a lot. Yeah. You have to touch the screen a lot to do things.
Right.
The basics.
Yeah. So it's just like, and I know Reloop has like controllers that work with algorithm, you know, but the DJ Pro app. But I'm just like, that's what virtual DJ needs. That's what algorithms DJ need. Again, I think it's a really cool app. It is. Even though it's a flat design, just like virtual DJ, the colors are different.
Yeah, the
It's
colors are definitely different.
The
Like,
colors are
I
different.
feel like we're nitpicking so much, but like
Yeah.
it's a different thing. I will say this though. I used both of them back to back, and I was trying to, get an assessment or how I felt about it. And
Hmm.
the virtual DJ and DJ, the algorithm DJ, they are very similar
Right. They
as
are.
far as the layout and
Hmm.
how they work. They are really similar, and they
Yeah.
have a lot of the same features.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the team they're working together or they're just copying each other, but they have a lot of the same features and the layout is very close to each other.
Hmm.
And so I found that interesting. So like the things that I was nitpicking on virtual DJ, like I would have to nitpick
Right.
on algorithm for.
Yeah. Hmm.
I will say this though, my version, the version I have for PC, it is designed specifically for touch
Okay.
and tablets and that kind of thing. And they just scaled it up to fit on a desktop. It's not a desktop app because I've seen the desktop app for algorithm DJ because my friend was using it. I think it was the older version. It wasn't this new current version. He's using the one before this, but it looked like a desktop app. It didn't look like a tablet centric app thrown on a desktop. And so I think that is probably the version I have for Windows. I'm not sure. I have to go check that out. I actually got to talk to him again. I'm gonna pick his brain on it. But the version I have is definitely designed for touch,
Yeah.
and so all the buttons are really huge, and a lot of things are taking up space that you could have shrunk down if it was designed for a mouse
Hmm.
and a controller. So, but overall, like my experience was good. The thing that people need to understand is that I love all of this DJ software.
Yeah.
There's
Hmm.
things I like better, but all of the DJ software I love using. I just like DJing.
Yeah.
And so I get to use something new and it's fun and it's a
Yeah.
little different. I love that. Like I don't nitpick and I don't put down people who like a specific app or use a different program because it's not, the quote unquote pro.
Right.
Like I don't do that. Like that's ridiculous to me. If you're a professional DJ, or actually no, if you're a professional baseball player and they gave you a crappy bat, you can still hit home runs.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier if you have a professional bat,
You may have
but
to
you
put a
can
lot of
still,
cork in it.
yeah, you got to put a cork in it, whatever. But
Right.
like,
Hmm.
if you're a good baseball player, you can still hit home runs with anything they give you.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I look at it for DJing.
Hmm.
If you're a pro DJ, I equate pro DJing to, do you get paid from DJing? That's it.
Yeah.
Professional DJ then.
Hmm.
So I don't look at, oh, you don't have pro gear or you don't have a Nexus or you're using the Denon 6000. It's like, are you getting paid? Yes,
Yeah.
pro DJ.
Hmm.
That's the end of the discussion for me. And people are like, oh, you can't scratch whatever. Like, it's irrelevant. There's different types of DJing and you have to respect it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's the thing that I always tell people, like, you guys are hung up on all the wrong things. Because I know DJs, they're like, oh, the gears, the whack, or the software is like, it's irrelevant. Use what you want to use it works for you. That's how I look at it. That's a rant. That's a mini rant.
Yeah. I never thought, like, just really quickly, like when we have these conversations, like I jot down a lot of stuff just even mentally create bullet points. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's a video I can create, just like bam,
Yeah.
But I was like looking at, again, I'm thinking post pandemic, right? So I'm like, okay, how can I position myself so that I can get back into the scene? I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back into these other places I used to, DJ in, but we'll see. But I'm just thinking about, creating new relationships. And I'm like, okay, I know the type of DJ I am. I know that I'm not into carrying a lot of equipment or anything like that. I want something just to throw on my shoulder, right? So I was like, and that's why I was opening the Tractor app, because I was like, I know that app works and I've used it before DJing with a controller, right? So when it wasn't working, I was like, okay, well, let me try, I have another app here, DJ app. I not only have the DJ2 app, but I also have the DJ Pro app as well, right? So I was like, let me try that out. And I was like, okay, this really works. So again, you're right. Regardless of the type of DJ you are, regardless of the type of software you may use, you still have to think about how are you going to put everything together and have a plan post-pandemic, you know, just like if you're a DJ who DJs out. And I thought that, you know, playing around with this software, having a very powerful iPad, and I even think that I may buy an iPad that's exclusively used for the software only. So I would just have that one app on it, be it like Tractor or, you know, Algorithms DJ Pro AI, and also just have, you know, maybe, I don't know, like if the Tractor app has the ability to connect to Tidal. But, you know, if you had a cellular version iPad, you wouldn't have to deal with Wi-Fi because you're dealing with cellular now, right? So you could possibly use Tidal, but I would still have physical tracks, like just stored on like, you know, iCloud or something like that, you know, just to make sure, just, you know, just in case anything went crazy. But I was like, I wanted a very light version of a DJ set that I can take anywhere. And these two DJ apps, specifically DJ Algorithm, man, I think I found my setup, dude. Now, the controller, I like the controller. Like this Mix Track Platinum FX, and they also just have the Mix Track Platinum. Man, those two Numark controllers, dude. I mean, you know, that's less than, you know, one is like $230, the other one is $280. Man, they are like 100%. I'm like, wow, these, and you connect them with Serato. Man, the integration is so tight. I really like this setup. The thing I think about, and I know you probably think about this too. Again, we're just people who've been in the scene for a minute. Like, how professional do you look when you're out DJing? Do you think about that? Like, so if you have like this baby controller, do you care about how you look?
I've done like tiny like boat cruises where it's like only like 50 people on there for a corporate thing. And I brought my dinky controller, like my little tiny controller there. And I was talking to the owner of the company. He's doing like something for his friends and family. And I was talking to the owner of the company, and he's the DJ too. And so he walked over to the desk. And he's like, "Oh, so you have a little controller there?" And I was like, "No, I'm a good DJ." Like he instantly started like panicking. Like, no, like, I'm a professional. I got turntables at home.
You're like, not a professional. Your controller is small as a phone.
Yeah, but like that's the thing though. We get so hung up on the visual of this stuff, and that how it looks in some ways matters to some people. For sure. I've done corporate stuff, and I've done weddings where the client specifically asked me to bring turntables.
Wow.
And they wanted me to spin vinyl. And so I'm like, oh my God, man, I'm charging you extra for that. But
like you're getting taxed for that.
But they wanted the visuals of turntables and a party, an old school party like that. And so, you know, the visuals matter to some people. To some people, it doesn't matter. Like if it's a booth, it's a little tiny booth, I'm in the corner and you can't really see me.
Right.
I don't think I would care. I did this thing where I was in a hotel and I was like in the lobby, and it's like a lounge just next to the lobby. And I brought semi-pro gear there. I had like a proper mixer, and I was using Tractor, the X1 and the F1, just to fill it out to make it look a little bit bigger.
Right.
But I was like, yo, when people are walking by and they're like, oh, look at this guy, a little dinky controller. You're not a DJ. Like I was thinking about it, and I'm like, this is terrible. But like, it's still mentally, I was like, well, I don't want people to think bad of me because they don't think I'm a real DJ. And it's a huge factor. I don't repeat myself, but it is a factor. And a lot of people are worried about when they look at your screen and like, oh, that's not Serato. What are you using there?
Right.
Like, what is that? I've seen Serato before. Like, what is that? So it's bad. It's a takeaway for DJs. But we created this monster. We did this to ourselves.
You know, like sometimes if I'm doing like, I also do like, you know, just like art gallery parties. So I want to look a certain way, right? So I may bring out like the big boy controller, you know, which you know, looks like, you know, two CDJs 2000 Nexus and also like a Nexus 900. So I'm good to go. But and a laptop. But I think with this XDJ XZ, if I needed to do something really huge and I needed like a big controller or something like that, just to look, crazy professional, I can do that and not have to bring the laptop because it's, I can use a thumb drive, it's standalone. So it's pretty cool. So the Algorithm DJ app Pro AI, like I said, is pretty impressive. I'm going to probably do something separate in terms of just like checking it out. And I did the same thing, just looking at the two, together, like virtual DJ and also Algorithm, extremely similar. They're think what Algorithm said was, you know what, let's just make a skinny version of this, but, give you the same power.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they did. Yeah.
Sure. Did you look at the digital DJ tips survey yet? I think it just came out like a day or two ago.
No, what is it all about?
Well, he does a questionnaire for
the
a bunch
annual
of surveys.
joint.
Yeah, the annual joint. So I got down to the section. I have it pulled up on my laptop. That's what I was looking down at. So Serato is number one. They're looking at about like 32, 33% of the market. Record Box is 31% of the market now. They jumped up that high.
Yeah.
And Tractor is down into, I would say, 12%. Virtual DJ is about 11% of the market. And DJ, Algorithm DJ is down, I would say, around 4% of the market, 3% of the market. That's what it looks like right now.
4%.
So, yeah. It
out
looks
of like, what's the survey sample size? Because that's
last
important.
year it was like 40,000 people.
That's good. That's a good sample size.
This year, it's about 30-something thousand people did this.
That's a really good sample size, dude.
Yeah, I think it's like over 33,000 people did it.
So basically,
it's a decent number. Yeah, I like the survey because it's worldwide, and a lot of it's not all professional DJs because that's going to be skewed.
Yeah.
If you only talk to it's going to be Serato or Record Box. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else is using anything else. Yeah. So this is a lot of DJs that are in their bedroom. There's a lot of DJs that just do lounge or they're retired and they used to DJ. And so it goes through the gambit about what they like and what they're using currently. And so I found that fascinating. So I was like, I have to pull this up here. So I think that this DJ software it's almost a niche market because it's like a beginner market, but it's making moves. And I think that as long as they keep building and expanding what it's compatible with, I think a lot of people are going to take a look at this thing. I don't know if it's going to take a virtual DJ spot.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
a huge
surprised
market
that
share right there, 11%.
I'm surprised that Tractor is still that high and is still in third place. That blows my mind. I thought they'd be down in the single digits right now, but they're still around 12, 13%. So
I kind of think that with a software like Tractor, you can, with software, you can put software in, like, you can silo off software. And even though it's old, it can still work if it's in its own silo, So basically, let's say that, I may have, Tractor or any software that hasn't been updated for a really long time on a laptop that's not connected to the internet, So that version's going to work on a specific operating system as well. So like if version 2 works really well on Mojave, maybe I just have a laptop or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? So it works out like that. That survey you're looking at, what do they talk about in terms of turntables?
Hold on, let me go down to the turntables. I think most people use a controller. I think turntables is very niche.
It's inferior, like turntables do not exist. I still have like my 1200s, but I don't really use them. I use the Reloop. What is that? The RP 7000s, the MK2s. They're pretty cool. I just don't like the digital pitch. That's like kind of wonky for me a little bit. But
So vinyl and turntables is down to, I would say, 4%.
Wow.
Controllers is over 52%.
Yeah, dude. That's why they're making them bigger, better. I'm waiting for Denon to come out with like a Prime 5, with like, 10-inch, jog wheels or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think they're gonna make a bigger jog wheel in the next version.
They have to, because those the Mix Track Platinum, those are 6-inch, and that's probably the smallest I can go. I had a controller where the jog wheels were like 4 inches. I was like, there's no way I can use this. I mean,
I don't like the tiny jog wheels.
Yeah,
like
no,
the little dinky controller I have,
No.
I hate the tiny jog wheels. Like, it just annoys me.
I can't do that. Listen, man, I think that, again, 4% is, that's okay. And it also would explain why algorithm went to prescription. Subscription. I said prescription. Subscription as well,
Yeah.
which is a prescription, for them to make money, right?
Yeah. But they're trying to make money.
Right, exactly.
For sure, they're trying to make money. Their market share is not large enough to just go off.
Right,
of it.
because they were talking, if you read like what's on their website, they were like explaining why they went to a subscription model. It's just like, well, you don't have any hardware, right?
Yeah.
And you need to create
an investment.
Yeah. It's just like, I think on the iPad, like for the app, it's $4.99 a month or $40 for the year, right? Which isn't bad, but here's my thing. Am I going to pay $5 a month for a DJ software? No, I'm not. No. Even if I like it, I'm not going to do that. It's just like, that's a monthly charge that that'll never be like in my, my wheelhouse, to pay a subscription fee for DJ software or on any level, even a desktop. It's just like, no, I'm not going to do that, because I think that, companies like Rekordbox and Serato, they can make the software, even though Rekordbox is subscription.
Yeah,
and I have the Pro
out there.
Right, exactly. I have the Pro version, so I don't really have to pay for the subscription service. My Pro version still works, and my, controller still works with it. But would I ever pay for a subscription to a DJ software? Probably not.
I'm not paying to switch over.
No,
I'm sorry. That's the end of the line for me. Rekordbox 6 went to subscription. I was like, I'm done here.
Yeah,
this is it. And it unlocks a certain hardware, which is fair.
Right,
that's fair. But if they were going to make everybody pay monthly for it, I would close my laptop up and I'm done with Rekordbox. Like that.
I would listen. If Rekordbox and Serato went subscription, which software would you move to?
Serato.
Oh, so you would pay a subscription for Serato?
If I had the two choices between Rekordbox subscription and Serato subscription, I would go Serato.
Okay, so check this out, right? Okay, so Rekordbox and Serato, now let's just say, just for the sake of this conversation, they are subscription based now. You still have Tractor, you still have Virtual DJ. Now, would you go to Rekordbox or Serato on the subscription level, or would you say, you know what, let me go full fledged on Tractor and or Virtual DJ?
Well, the only reason that I would say Serato is because one of the places where I used to play when we were allowed to play outside, they had a mixer in house that it was supported Serato and it didn't support Tractor. And so it just made my life easier. But if that was the case, if that was the case, then I would just go all in 100% on Tractor and say, screw all of this stuff. I wouldn't bother. Because I got the Tractor worked, DVS didn't work on it. So I could make it work with the X1, but if I want to use the CDJs or whatever, it didn't work with Tractor like all in one that way. So it just made my life easier just switching back and forth between the two of them, because all of my music is in my iTunes library. So it's not
me too, deal. Yeah, exactly. And people were freaking out like, oh, don't upgrade your Mac, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, no. Like, like, because they're going to Apple Music, it's like, yeah, Apple Music is an app, right?
Mm-hmm.
iTunes is still the, like, you know, workhorse to purchase your music from, right?
Yeah.
You know, so people didn't understand that. So it was just when I made the upgrade, my music, you know, my 4,000 or 5,000 tracks that I purchased from iTunes, they were still there. Like, no problem. Yeah. And even when you log into, when you turn on Serato, you still have the ability to, you know, search your music on iTunes.
Yeah. So like I use, because I had Rekordbox and I had Tractor and I used Serato. Because of all three of them, I just put everything in iTunes. Yeah. And iTunes works with all three of them.
All three of them.
And then anything online, I can just log in and it's not a big deal. So it just makes the most sense. And it allows me to switch between the programs with ease without, you know, missing a beat. Because I did the organization in iTunes already in advance. So that's just how my thing is. I don't, there's a lot of DJs that they use the in-house file system. But it works with everything. Why would you switch? I don't understand. If they got rid of iTunes, well, I would just keep it to that last version of iTunes. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Again, if you want to purchase music, you got to go through iTunes, so it's still there. You know, you were talking about Tractor, and I'm really interested to see, like, what becomes of Tractor. You know, because, you know, hopefully they got some people over there that said, you know, Tractor was on its way to be, you know, the #1 DJ app. And maybe we can, like, sort of regain some of that. Again, my first DJ app software was Tractor, and I was having, yo, Keo, I bought every controller that, like, you know, all the Native Instruments controller. The company gave me some as well, but there were others I bought. And I was so into it. I was DJing, and then all of a sudden, the Native Instruments controllers started not working properly with Native Instruments Tractor. And I was like, well, where's that disconnect, you know? But I mean, even though, like, in the early stages, you didn't really have jog wheels on some of those controllers, right? But that was still okay. I mean, and, you know, the DVS functionality was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, dude, I hope, like, you know, Tractor, like, is revitalized and we have something else we can just mess around with, because I just thought that, you know, before, you know, Virtual DJ and some of these other companies, you know, Tractor was, like, on the cutting edge of, like, tech and, like, innovation, you know, so.
Yeah. That's the other reason I want to keep it around. Like, Virtual DJ is doing that now.
Yeah.
But Tractor is taking it in a different direction, and we need that. We need that competition. We need that innovation in the DJ game. So
maybe they'll be the disruptor, you know? Yeah, I hope so, man, you know? Let's hope that Tractor can get on, like, you know, pace and, like, release something. I'm definitely going to check out this Tractor DJ app, and I'm, you know, thanks for, like, hitting me off with that information, because, again, like I said, I was like the Tractor app, you know, for the iPad. It was just, you know, it was like a dope app. I mean, I used it, like, at least once or twice a week, and then one time I opened it up and it just didn't work. And I did see the DJ2 app, you know, the Tractor 2 app, and I was like, okay, I was thinking about that. I'm going to download it. It is a free app, but I don't know if it's, like, in app purchase or something like that, but we'll check it out.
No, it's free. It's completely free. They basically, from what I understood, it's going to be the blueprint for the next pro version of Tractor.
Really?
They redid the engine, they redid everything, and that's going to be the future of the company.
Does it work with controllers?
No, it's only with I think 1 or 2 Tractor controllers it works with.
Okay.
But basically, it's going to be the future. So you can see the design language and you can see the engine. It runs really smooth. I have to say that. It runs like algorithm DJ smooth. Like, it's like,
okay, I got to check that out.
It's butter. But you know, it's not there yet. They're withholding you know, features and stuff like that, because I don't know why. It's Tractor.
I'm you know, I would even buy a Native Instruments controller if the app was, like, really tight and solid, right?
Well, this one has I think the version of the Tractor DJ is designed for, I think it's only Spotify or SoundCloud. I can't remember which one.
Oh, really?
So you can have music that's on your system. You can put that in, and you can do the online streaming stuff too.
Yeah, I'm not messing with Spotify, dude.
Yeah, I can't.
Spotify is a menace to society.
I can't remember which one of it. I haven't used it in a while. I can't remember if it's Spotify or SoundCloud. It's one or the other.
You know, but, on Algorithm, DJ Pro AI app, you know, they give you like, you know, 20 free tracks from SoundCloud. And I'm listening to them and I'm like, oh, these tracks are pretty dope. I'm like, am I missing something with SoundCloud or what?
SoundCloud, it's worth it. I think when you look at how much music is on SoundCloud and how many producers, because you have whatever the 100 million or whatever songs that are on SoundCloud, just people uploading stuff, plus the paid stuff from the record labels. So when you put the two of them together, it's really robust what's on SoundCloud.
Really?
Yeah. The only thing that they don't have is like, you know, the extended mixes and extended versions, whatever. But people have their own remixes that they put up there. And so like, if you can find it, there's good stuff on SoundCloud. So it's definitely worth it. It should be in the conversation. If you're going to talk about Tidal and you're going to talk about Spotify, SoundCloud should be in the conversation for sure.
Is it like, what about the sound quality? Because I never like how they compress stuff up, you know?
Well, that's the thing. That's always been my beef with SoundCloud because a lot of this stuff is amateur and they don't know how to master the songs. So like it was hit or miss. The label stuff is on point and the pay stuff is on point, but that regular person who uploaded a remix, it's hit or miss. It'll sound like trash or it'll sound amazing. Like it can go either way. There's no quality control for that.
Well, maybe I'll give it a try, man, because like I said, you know, it was just an afterthought because like, even though I have a SoundCloud account, you know, when they just kept, you know, copyright dinging me, I was like, let me just move over to Mixcloud, you know, and I just kind of only used it to post DJ sets up that I would just give to like clients as a private link. They can listen to it, you know, things of that nature. But maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe there's a free trial out there, but we will see. But listen, man, there you have it. Everything we've been talking about. You have Facebook just doing all the goofery. You have, you know, Serato, you know, with their, you know, Serato Studio, and also Splice, Metallica, just getting a copyright ding on their own music. Wow. I mean,
you can't, I don't know. You can't put that into words, like the stupidity in it.
You cannot. Well, listen, until next time, I am Basil Barrington.
I'm DJ Keo.
Thanks for checking us out. Peace.